stream this kind of shit on TikTok and Instagram and all that. I think people like they don't really use Facebook for that shit, you know. You know what I mean? Like, I mean Twitch, sure, but then it's like on Twitch, it's like, how do they even find you? Like they can look on the wait, yeah, they don't watch fucking live streams, dude. Unk, you don't watch live streams, Unk. All right, dog. Where we at? I might switch to that in a minute. Let me just Shaboingus. What were we say? What were we saying yesterday, dude? That was so funny, bro. Like, what if Jesus came back and his
Oh yeah,
this
shadoinkianity.
the second the second coming, dude? But his name was Shadoingus. Yeah, Shadoinkianity. That's crazy that they said they're gonna like witch hunt people. It's so funny to me, bro, that they're talking about fucking free speech, bro, and then they're like, let's fucking round up everybody who talks shit. It's like, what the fuck, dude? What? How does your fucking life make sense to you, dude? What? It's like, what the fuck are you even saying? Are you fucking even real, dude? Is this real life? Or is this fucking
Like, do you understand
shadoinkianity?
what you're even saying? Do you even understand what you're saying?
Bro, like, I mean, it's obvious. Like, they don't care about any of this shit they're saying, like the free speech or fucking,
Yeah, they don't
like,
actually care about any of that.
values shit. It's just like, the whole thing is just like, let's fucking destroy our enemies. These, like, neoliberal, or not neoliberal. I hate it when people confuse that word, actually. These, like, what do they call them? Postmodernist, neo-Marxist, fucking liberal, whatever the fuck, dude. Baby eating, whatever. It's like Alex Jones, right? That's what he says.
They're eating the cats and dogs,
The
dude.
oh yeah, that was the Trump shit, dude. The psychic
Yeah.
vampires.
He was asked to either today or yesterday or whatever how, he thinks the country could be brought back together after what happened, and his words were, I couldn't care less.
He said I couldn't care less about.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me turn this up. There's like an echo. What the fuck is this? I was just trying to share this. Wait, say that again, dude. He fucking.
So, in a statement, someone was like, how do you recommend we get the people back together after what happened with
Oh yeah, like
with
I
Charlie
mean,
Squirter or whatever.
it's crazy that he just doesn't have any pretense about it at all. But like, of course he does. Of course he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like all he's been talking about for fucking forever is like, how do we get rid of all these people? How do I go full Stalin, dude, and like put all my political opponents in jail?
It's like his ego is so big that he doesn't even care if he's here for it to see it.
What do you mean?
Like the the fuckery, the mess, the tyranny that he's like I feel like he's on his way out, dude. I feel like he might
Oh, like
be
physically, like health wise, you mean?
yeah.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, it's like you know, pretty fucking obvious. He's disintegrating, dude, before our eyes. I think his arm fell off or something, right? Like,
But his ear's fine.
yeah. What the heck? Where are these guys coming from, dude?
That's my question.
All right, I think I got to split up, dude. I got to split up here. You go here. You go down here. I should probably turn that down, maybe.
Oh, is my shit loud? Sorry.
No, it's not you. Like, don't worry about it. Oh gosh, that was a good one.
Was that a pop or what was that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my neck, dude.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I kind of like, dude. I used to imagine like a machine that would like pick me up by the head and then just like twist me around and like crack my neck. I mean, but then it'd probably kill you too. But then whatever, fuck it. For a second, it would feel really good though.
You ever pop your neck and feel it in your elbows?
No, but I've definitely coughed and like popped my spine and it like releases my whole rib cage into another dimension. It's fucking crazy.
Oh my
You
god.
know what I'm talking about?
No, that sounds
No?
incredible though.
Yeah, it's like next level, dude. It's like peak human experience. I mean, like for an older human.
You
When
know
you're a
what I
kid,
want
that kind
really
of shit
badly?
doesn't happen. What?
Is I want 2 drop tanks from uh F-30 or F-18s. Dude, if you they're like the perfect height and the perfect like radius, not radius, diameter for you to like curl your back around it. You just push up against it. Holy shit, it's the best back pop I've ever had in my entire life. I want to steal them off of base.
Oh, wow.
Good
I'm
shit though.
trying to like envision it, dude, but I don't really know what it looks like, so whatever though. Damn,
Imagine
how
like
did this mother
torpedoes. They just are full of like fuel. That's about it.
shit? Human feces? Oh. Okay, he's dead. This is a lot
Nothing
more
funnier than seeing
manageable
a
now.
66,000 pound, fully wet, 5 wet tanker taken off of the flight deck at night.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else with that. Thank God.
I don't know where else I could have gone, but that's hilarious.
Wait, there's another dude here. I'm glad my boy got down there so fast, but like, okay, what else we got here? My African American over there.
What?
You remember that shit when Trump said that?
No burping allowed.
You don't remember that, dude? That was
No.
like one of the funniest things from his original campaign, dude. Look at my African American over there.
No, how can I not remember?
Bro, let me see if I can find it. That shit is not to be missed. Damn, this is new. Goggles. I don't want no stinking goggles.
Let me show you
Oh.
a video of Donald Trump being hilariously racist. Is that possible? I think it is. Watch.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. So we have an African American guy at one of the rallies a month ago. He's sitting there behaving.
So I'm going to explain to you why this isn't just about Donald Trump. It's about the entire Republican Party and why minorities have such a hard time voting for Republicans. You might not like that. You might think that...
Oh, whatever, dude. Shut up. That was the guy I was telling you about. That was Sink.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the Young Turks guy. But yeah, he was supposed to be debating.
Screaming into the crowd?
Well, Sink was in the crowd. Like
Okay.
Hassan is his nephew.
Same.
Hassan is his nephew. So like he and Hassan were debating. And then like they were debating something about like capitalism, socialism shit and Sink yelled something from the crowd about him, like taking money from the government, like taking government subsidies and like not being a capitalist basically. So he didn't like that. He didn't like getting called out about that. So he was trying to like, I mean, not only like say he was wrong about it, but I think he was freaking out so bad to try to like detract away from the fact of it. It's like, please don't tell people that about me. It's like, when people talk about Elon Musk takes all the subsidy money all the time and shit or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Horseshit. Man, he really fell off the face of the planet, huh?
Elon, oh yeah, after his fucking falling out with Donald Trump, their public breakup. He's not the richest guy in the world anymore either.
I saw that. I don't know if it stayed that way, but I did see that.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's all like stock market shit. Which is how it works with those guys. Like, they don't really have all that money. It's just like, it's all in stocks for their fucking companies,
Their
I mean, not like they're fucking
assets or
hurting for
whatever.
money, obviously, but yeah, it's like non-liquid. I mean, they could liquidate it or whatever, but it's like if Elon sells all of his stock in Tesla, it's like he's not the fucking owner anymore. You know what I mean? It's like you have to own at least half, 51%.
I was gonna say, isn't it like 51%?
Yeah. Which like most companies they don't even have that. They have like a whole bunch of people that have a lot, but it's like the amount of stock that you own. I mean, it gets complicated because every company is like structured. It can be structured differently, but for the most part, like the amount of stock that you own determines your like voting.
Yeah.
Your voting weight. So like, so if you own 51%, you have like a majority over everybody. What is this? Oh, is it? It's because like this planet. I don't know what's up with that planet, dude? It's so weird. It's like I can't. I can't colonize it or something. Anyways, dude, like they definitely get into like a whole pipeline, you know? Once they get big enough, they start getting
Right.
funded by these fucking like right wing think tank shit and
The
whatever.
richer you are, the more free shit you get.
Yeah, and just in like the more popular you are and shit, you know, like I mean, which is kind of their whole fucking philosophy too, you know? It's like if you got it, it's because you deserved it, obviously, or else you wouldn't have it. You know, it's like
You worked real hard for it, you know? You just gotta roll your sleeves up.
yeah, I mean, it's very much a like a might makes right kind of worldview, you know? Which is what I've always said about like I don't know, dude. That shit gets really like nuanced and complicated too. But like generally, right wing ideology is bad. It's like, God, where's this guy keep coming from, dude? How does he get over here? There's no wormhole unless he's coming through there. Well, this shit is okay. Let's go here. Anyways, like it's pretty much like even though that they like put a veneer of this like libertarian, free speech, anti-government shit, it's like it depends on hierarchy, you know, hierarchy. Like it's very like you know, there's somebody in charge, like alpha, you know, even in all that shit, all their like views on like hyper masculinity and that kind of shit. It's like the person who's supposed to be in charge is the person like who is running everything. You know, and if it's not, if it's like fucking Joe Biden or somebody they think is like weak and not supposed to be in charge of anything, they blame it on the government, you know? It's like, oh, it's this illegitimate structure that's been set up to promote weakness. I don't know, dude. It's all like seems very very like image based or something, you know what I mean?
Popularity contest.
No, not that. I'm saying like symbolically it's like
Oh, yeah.
it has to like look the right way and like, you know, fit the right mold of like what it's supposed to look like. I can't hear anything on this now.
You can't hear anything on what?
On this game. Okay, now I kind of can, but it's like, okay, whatever, dude. So yeah, I don't remember what we were talking about, but we were definitely talking about
Something
something.
good. Hmm. Something that's super frustrating for me about humans is that they will they will make blatant arguments that they don't believe in, like I was saying earlier.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's why we were even talking about that in the first place, I think, because you were saying like that you thought that he basically like a lot of the stuff he was saying was like contrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it what like he didn't really come up with it himself or he didn't really believe it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think
It's like
like
a script that he had memorized.
well, I think it's true. It's like that's what I mean, that's what I was telling my friend earlier. It's like these groups, those think tanks and like media groups, they give all of those people like talking points, and they give them like things to say. You know, if they say their talking point, they're like this thing, then like you say this back. And I think that they're better at it too than definitely than leftists, but than even than you know Democrats who at first they weren't putting a lot of money into that shit, but now they are. Like the whole kind of narrative control thing and blah blah blah, like linguistic programming stuff. It's like super psychological shit, you know. It's like if you say things a certain way, even if you don't agree with it, it still frames it to for you to think of it in a certain context.
That's
You
what
know
I've been
what I
trying to
mean?
tell people too, that words are like people a lot of people are like, "Well, CK didn't all he did was talk. All he did was say things. All he did was talk."
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
so did
Exactly.
Charles Manson.
Right. Right. Like the. I mean, Charles Manson like arguably like actually told them to go do shit, you know, and that's like another. That's like a thing I was saying. Uh, I mean, it's a vague, you know, it's kind of a gray area, I guess, what you're saying, because it's like, I mean, did he like literally tell him to go do it? I don't know, but
I guess my point is like he didn't have to be physically violent in order to orchestrate like
well, yeah,
or
that's
in
what I'm
order to
saying. Like,
facilitate things.
I was trying to talk to my friend earlier about, you know, because my friend was saying like, oh, he didn't like use violent speech and blah blah blah. Well, I was like, I like sent some examples, and he was like, I don't see anything violent about any of that. But it was basically saying like, we're gonna go on the offensive with the liberals, shit like that. You know, like it seems pretty like innocent, but you start uh, like, I mean, how does that make you feel, and what does that make you think about when you think about that? Is it like a sports team? Do you think you're like playing sports? Like, what do you think about when you're talking about like launching an offensive against somebody? You know, that's
Yeah.
like that's what they talk about in the military. You know,
Right.
and Donald Trump is like saying literally like that they need to invade Chicago. Literally, the military like declare war on Chicago. You know, and the Democrat fucking governor. You know, like it's like it's dude, and it's been going on forever. It's not like a new thing. It's not like Charlie Kirk. Like honestly, dude, Charlie Kirk was probably, as far as all that stuff goes, Charlie Kirk was probably like one of the most mild ones.
Yeah.
But like, but dude, I remember back when did fucking Gabrielle Giffords get shot? Oh my gosh, dude. I think it was like right around the same time. Do you remember this? You remember when she
I'm
got
looking
shot?
on. What?
You don't
No, I
remember
don't
it?
remember this.
That she got shot in 2011 by this guy. And I mean, this guy's like an alt-right guy. And they try to blame it on him just being a crazy person, you know, like. But let me see if I can find this, dude. Sarah Palin, dude. Let's see if I can find this. Wait, maybe this will be don't retreat, reload. Oh, maybe I got it wrong. Yeah, that's what it was. I was saying reload and take aim, but she was actually saying don't retreat, reload.
The fuck?
No, bro, because they had been saying shit, or maybe that's what she was saying. Maybe it was before. This seems like it's after. This is after the shooting. Anyways, like her campaign, I'm pretty sure that her campaign, like one of the slogans she was using, or one of the like things she was saying over and over was that they need to reload, or they need to take aim. Maybe that's what it was. They need to take aim at Democrats. Like, okay, that's not violent, dude, or whatever, free speech. But like, you take aim means like shoot them, you know.
So
Like,
I don't remember what the actual study was called or whatever, but they do that where it's like a memory test where they're having a something described to them like a car accident, and they describe it with either like they smashed into each other, they crashed into each other, or like
oh
depending on
yeah,
what
those kind of
word.
things. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
just linguistic
they
shit.
remembered it
Yeah,
more violently depending on what word.
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean I haven't seen that exact thing or whatever, but that's what I'm talking about. It's like the linguistic stuff, you know. It's like
Right.
but they like they're really. It's actually really sophisticated, man. There's people who go to school for that shit, like linguistics, and they study that stuff, and they like, you know, there's different areas of it, but there's like that whole concept of NLP, neuro linguistic programming, is based on linguistic psychology. So it's like, I mean, linguistics is a huge field. It's basically like studying all of language and how, you know, do you even come to acquire language? Like, how does it work? The history of it, how it changed over time, like how words, like all the etymology of, like all that shit's included in linguistics. But you know, they like what you were saying, those kind of studies, they apply that information, that knowledge into creating the narrative, like crafting talking points, crafting headlines, and those kind of things to frame things in certain ways so that when you even talk about it, like your like scope and your like approach to talking about it is going to be like controlled in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's a guy named George Lakoff who's a linguist who he like he talked about that a lot, like way back in the day, like in the 2010s, whatever. But he wrote a book called "Don't Think of an Elephant," because that's like a demonstration of that that like word
All you can
trick,
think of is an elephant.
right? Because it's impossible. It's like yeah. So like I don't know. He talked a lot about that stuff and like how it works and oh, I saw that. But like but No, shit. Like they're definitely doing that on a regular basis. Like the right was pouring tons of money into that, like from a long time ago, and like in the 2000s and even 2010s, like the Democrat strategy was more their funding of shit was more like grassroots campaigns and that kind of stuff. Because like not only were they trying to support those things, like to raise awareness and get like voter support and blah blah blah, but they're also like co-opting those things, and dismantling them. And like just think of what happened to Black Lives Matter. It got like super discredited and turned like Democrat and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
Highly annoying.
the whole function of the Democrats is to like absorb any kind of like labor worker rights movement in this country and like shield it from communism, socialism. Because the Democrats are anti-socialist. Like it's so funny. Like because people call them the left, they call them the left wing, but they're definitely not the fucking left wing, dude. Because like every other country that has like a labor party, that's the left wing party. Like I mean, a lot of it comes from the Marxism stuff or whatever, but it's all like Marxism and the whole labor movement in the 19th century was all about that, like worker rights and the Industrial Revolution and like how terrible all that shit was. So like we don't really have that. The unions got destroyed here, and they had the Red Scare and the anti-communism stuff. So we don't have a left. There's no left representation in American politics. It's only like on social media and shit. So when people call the Democrats the left, like they have no idea what they're talking about. There's nothing left about them, dude. They're corporate, they're pro-corporate, pro-capitalist conservatives. They're neoconservatives. Today, like the Democrats are ideologically like basically where George Bush and those guys were. Seriously. Like
Senior?
No, junior.
Or junior?
Yeah, all those guys. Like, I mean, they invaded Iraq and did all, like, the Democrats are just, they want to keep doing that shit. Because that's what the corporations want. They want that access to those resources, and they want to protect their trade agreements. They want to use the military to do it. They want stability in the global financial market. They want, they want to basically keep things the same. That's what conservative means. Like, what is a conservative? I would say most people, I mean, that's why it gets so confusing. Like, what most people call conservatives in America today are radical traditionalists. They're like, they want, because there's such like that huge evangelical component too in the Republican Party, and that is like, I mean, obviously like a religious values based, but it's also it goes really well with like the whole oligarchic concept, where it's like they would rather just like get rid of all that shit, the EPA and the fucking government, like public protections. Like, we don't need the government to do that stuff. We don't need the government to like help people at all. We just need them to
well, if
like they're basically
everything that everybody needed, nobody would need help.
right. I mean, that's like what a lot of the social democracies and stuff have been moving to. I really feel like the most on like a human level, on like a humanitarian and like just, I mean, even just like vibrationally, like spiritually or whatever, like, and there might be other places and things I don't know, but I feel like the Nordic countries are like moving into basically what should take the place of liberal democracy. like the spiritual successor to that. But like the United States, on the other hand, is like reverting back into like oligarchic feudalism. So it's like, whereas traditional capitalism is a little bit more upward mobility and you can like get rich and blah 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 and you can spend your paycheck on what you want, whatever. Like what they're really doing, and the tech motherfuckers are really like driving a lot of this. No, like I said, it's complicated too because like not only they play both sides, but not all of them are the same. Not all of them are like in agreement, and not all of them are like these accelerationist fucks who want to just like crash the Western Empire and like turn it into these like neo city states, these networked states or whatever. Curtis Yarvin and Peter Thiel and all those dumb dicks are talking about all the time. But mostly it's like driven by these tech fucks, especially those guys, those like libertarian, right-wing libertarian dickheads, like the PayPal Mafia or whatever they call them.
PayPal Mafia?
Seriously, dude, it's like, who's the PayPal Mafia? It's like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, obviously. Greg Andreessen, I think. Or Mark Andreessen, why did I say his name wrong? Who is the PayPal Mafia? Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman, David Sachs. Yeah, all these fucks, dude. These are all just like super rich tech bros, dude, who like are pushing for those like networked states. Curtis Yarvin is a part of it. That Biology weirdo is part of it. Who is this guy? Yeah, whatever. Co-founder of Netscape. Yeah, he's like closely connected to them. Anyways. I don't know. We gotta start making videos about this shit, dude. People want to know, like, especially even like right-winger people, dude. They get like into the conspiracy shit, like who's behind the, like, who's pulling the strings behind the veil.
That's how we get the country back together.
Yeah, like, it's these guys, dude. It's these motherfucking guys, bro.
I say back together, but I don't know if we've ever been together.
I don't think so, really. And also, like, bro, like, I think that's one thing that a lot of good-hearted, good people, whatever, it could be on either side, but I'm more talking about, like, humanitarian, like, high empathy, inclusive people who want more civil rights and blah, blah, blah. The left, mostly. But, it could be anybody who wants that, like, anything like that. However they self-identify, it doesn't fucking matter, but I feel like the thing that a lot of people in America are in denial about is the fact that America has always been racist, genocidal, and like against the poor. Like it's just always been that way. That's like they were born on that, and they never stopped doing that ever. Yeah, there was like degrees of fluctuation and like of things, but like generally speaking, they never were about those things. They never like opposed those things in any kind of like real meaningful way. You could point to things like Teddy Roosevelt busting the trust, or like certain things like that where it seems like they were looking out for the little guys or whatever. And I mean, to some extent, it's true. Yeah, like for sure. But it's also, what did they really do? Like they didn't stop it. Like they didn't. If whatever anybody did to like try to combat any of those things, they didn't ever go far enough. And most of the time it was because they couldn't. Because it's not because like, especially in the early days, like 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 John Quincy Adams, dude, who like spoke out and like you could tell he didn't feel right about the genocide of the Native Americans, and he tried to oppose it, but he still ended up signing that Creek Treaty or whatever that like forced the natives to give up like, dude, I think it was something like 10 million acres or some shit. They like they it, the he the basically the most lenient anti-genocide president of the Native Americans ever. Passed a
I
law
can't
that
I can't describe.
23 million acres, dude.
Oh my
It made them give up 23 million acres of land. And that like led right into the I'm pretty sure, dude, like I think that led right into fucking Andrew Jackson. Cuz basically, I mean, think of it like this: when you start like really digging into this shit, you understand that like it's not that fucking different than today, dude. So okay, Teddy Roosevelt, blah blah blah. Okay, John Quincy Adams was like he was that guy. He was like kind of a Jimmy Carter type. Like he was kind of a soft-hearted, like humanitarian type guy. At least that's like the vibe I get from him, right?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, but he was a slave owner and blah blah all that shit. Okay,
That's not
but
funny.
but the American,
The
but
irony is.
right. Well, the point that I'm making though, I mean, he was nice to him though, so it was all right. But the point that I'm trying to make is that like think of it like that, like kind of like a Jimmy Carter or even like a Joe Biden or some whatever. The American people, like at least half of them, saw him as like being a weak, like Indian loving, like not fit to be president, right? So then they elect this guy who is, in my book, hands down the fucking most absolute vile worst president the United States ever had. Because he basically saw and talked about the American natives being like dogs.
Oh my god.
Like, and he did more to like kill them and exterminate them than any other president. Like he actively like went to war with them and wanted to wipe them out. Among other things, dude, he reminds me a lot of Donald Trump because he set himself up as like this, champion of the fucking little guy and like the settlers, the colonist people, and like, and he also hated the banks. He hated the big banks, and he like, said they're ripping you guys off and blah blah blah, and he crashed the economy by not like renewing the charter of the central bank. Like the banks went nuts. And anyways, I mean, whatever. Like he didn't do it for some kind of like left wing, like maybe he thought he was like he's trying to help people, but like a lot of people lost everything because of that. You know what I mean? And like he didn't do shit to help them. So, you know. But anyways,
It's never been good. It's so
well, the point
disappointing.
that I'm making, dude, is like it's not even really like the president. Like, yeah, that has a lot to do. Like, the president can have a big influence on people and affect a lot of things, and blah blah blah. But like, there's always been a faction of just really fucking shitty people in the United States, and they have influenced the soul, the spirit of the United States so much that like the United States just generally has a character of being those things. You know, like paternalistic, fucking misogynist, racist, genocidal, fucking all that shit, dude. They've
Best
been that
ever.
since the beginning. And like I get the whole patriotism shit and you want to make the US better and make it a better place and like we can do better than this and we have like we built all this, we have an opportunity to like help others and blah blah blah. But they really just they don't want to do that, dude. They don't want to do it. They don't want to. They don't even want to help Americans. They say that in the fucking political campaigns and shit. Like we want to make America great again. We want to.
I want to know the last time, like the last legitimate time, a politician did anything for the people.
I mean, I guess it like depends on what. Because I'm sure there's people could come up with like some. Jimmy Carter did this, or Bill Clinton did this, or that helped these people. But it's so like. I don't know. A lot of times that shit, dude, it's like it's so like ideology driven too that it's like the real world consequences aren't like maybe even necessarily predictable by them. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Bill Clinton's like a terrible example of that because he deregulated a bunch of shit, which is usually like a right wing thing. But when he was doing it, he framed it as like helping like minorities like buy houses and that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, did he really help them? I don't know. Like like with everything with the economy, there's pros and cons and whatever. But my thing is like, dude, if you really had the conviction, like if you're fucking John Quincy Adams and you really like are like, no, dude, killing these natives is wrong. You know?
Yeah.
Like, why don't these motherfuckers ever stand on business, dude? And like, you know what I mean? Why don't they ever like put their foot down and be like, nah, bro. I mean, I think Donald Trump has tried to do that, like with his people, but it's like not for good shit. You know what I mean? It's for like, let's kill all the people that don't agree with us, which again is like kind of how we started out talking about this. It's like, that's that fucking king of the jungle bullshit.
And I think a lot of it these days is from tired people.
Tired or retired?
Tired. Like, the people are tired, and so they're just like, get it over with, like you were saying earlier.
Oh, like what Jared was saying about let's just
Yeah.
fucking have Civil War II already?
Yeah.
Yeah, and see who wins.
I
Like,
think people are tired. I think a majority of people are tired.
yeah. I mean, I'm tired of this bullshit, dude. Like, I'm tired of the shit that's not gonna ever go away. And like these motherfuckers are defending it and championing it and fucking wanting to uphold it and shit. You know what I mean? It's like, what can you even do about it? There's really nothing you can do being in this country. Like, there's nothing you can do about. I mean, you could try, I guess. You could try to like fight against the the forces. But it's like your choices are basically like South Park, dude. It's like fucking douche or turd, you know, and not just in the sense of president, like not just in the sense of like presidential elections, but like I'm talking about political party, like the way the country goes. It's like basically what we were saying earlier is like, do you want corporatism or do you want oligarchy? It's like take your pick between those two. Do you want neo-feudalist serfdom where you pay rent for everything and you're like a digital serf, or do you want to do basically what we've been doing for the last, you know, fucking 75 years, where you just, you know, do the rat race and fucking grind, and maybe one day you'll be able to fucking afford a house if you get lucky. You know, it's like, which one of those do you want to do? Which one of those do you want to do? Because that's all you're going to get, bro. Like, you're not going to get a better situation by blaming that shit on, oh, it's the Republicans. Like, if we could just vote for a fucking Democrat, then we could get the housing prices down. Like, that shit, nah, dude. That's not how the economy works.
No.
None of those.
Have a magic wand to wave over shit just to fix it.
Yeah, it's like, that's like saying you're gonna make, like, if you elect me for president, I'll make your car fly. It doesn't fucking fly, dude. It wasn't built to do that. Like, you can't make it do something it wasn't designed to do, and it doesn't fucking work that way. And there's no like.
People are resigned to nothing's ever gonna change. That I think that slows it down.
Well, I think that's what those people, like even what Jared was saying about let's just hurry up and get it over with, or maybe even that kid that shot Charlie Kirk. You know, it seems like, I mean, we don't know a lot about him or whatever. I mean, the whole thing could just be fucking bullshit, but, you know, if that's the kid who shot him, from what we know so far, it seems to me like he's one of those, you know, like Nick Fuentes, like fucking Andrew Tate kids, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you get the vibe of what I'm saying? Or
I do.
Like, basically I mean, that's even what those guys want too. I mean, not that they're like saying to like assassinate people to get it done, but like the guys I was talking about earlier, like Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin and stuff, the whole philosophy is called accelerationism, where they're basically like, let's just hurry up and fucking crash the system. You know what I mean? Let's get to the end of capitalism so we can like build the new system in the fucking ashes of that. And their new system is like fucking oligarchic neo-monarchy or whatever the fuck they want to call it. Tech feudalism, city-state, like networked city-states where like you belong to this digital nation and you become a fucking, you're like basically owned by that, whoever the leader of that is like it's like a CEO. It's like one of those tech bros is the CEO of that's your fucking boss of your life. You know? So like, you know, if you want to hurry up and get to that, like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm out. I'm fucking out on that shit. No thanks.
Well, and that's the thing that people equate like not feeling bad for Charlie to celebrating his death, and I've been trying to explain to people, I'm not celebrating, dude. I just don't feel fucking bad for the guy. I feel bad for his kids, and that's about it. Because, you know, read the fucking room.
I mean, I kind of feel bad for him a little bit, just on like a basic human level. But like, I definitely see the irony in it. But the other big part about it is that like the reason it's ironic is because it sets like a precedent for that. You know, it's like you don't. I mean, it's kind of what the right wingers have been saying. It's like if you don't like somebody, you just kill them. Like that's bullshit. But it's like that's the rhetoric that y'all have been pushing and like promoting.
Right.
So
And
like
you didn't expect it to happen to your side.
right, yeah. So like, and it might not be as blatant as like, you know, go shoot. But I mean, dude, come on, like that. How long ago was that Sarah Palin thing where she was like saying take aim and reload after the fucking Gabby Giffords got shot? She said don't back down, reload.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That like, dude.
Well,
Like
I had a friend saying to me today actually. He was like, "Well, I'm not concerned about the people who are talking about it. I'm concerned about the people who believe it." And it's like, dude, that's the problem. Like they
the people who
believe the
believe
person that's speaking.
what?
I mean like
Oh yeah. The people
GI's
who
bad
believe
or
Charlie Kirk, yeah, all that bullshit, yeah.
yeah, or like I mean take Andrew Tate for example. Now there's a male loneliness epidemic. You know?
I mean, I think in part like that was predating him, you know, like that shit has been going on for a while, and I think those people just kind of filled that void, you know, because it's like a lot of kids growing up with like no strong father figures because either their father's like absentee or they're working all the time or they're crushed by the fucking weight of the current reality, and it's like
Fucking capitalism.
so they just like they have like a crisis of like not having parents, and like because I mean that's another thing. It's like dude, they love to also blame like societal problems on women's rights because like women going to work and they're not in the house raising the kids and like spending time with the kids. And dude, like while that shit's important, it's not that women having rights is to blame for it, dude. It's not like some civil rights movement thing where women like we're like, fuck this, we're not staying at home anymore. You guys can raise the kid. Like that's not what it is, bro. Like the reason that my mom went to work was because my parents didn't have enough fucking money. It wasn't because of like feminism or women's liberation or something, dude. Like they needed fucking money, bro. So like that's pretty much just the norm today. It's like both work.
I think a big part of that too, though, is women were tired of not having control of.
Well, sure. I mean, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. Like if you're a fucking homemaker and you get divorced, you're pretty much screwed. Like that's what alimony exists for and everything. Because it's like then you have to go get a job, but you don't have work experience, and you're gonna be making fucking minimum wage, blah blah blah. It's like you're just at a huge disadvantage. And it also like kind of sets up that power dynamic where it's just so easy for people to power trip and like abuse women, because it's like, oh, I can just I pay for everything, so shut the fuck up.
Yep. I'm in a lot of well, not a lot. I'm in some
what up, dude?
Mom groups.
Stay-at-home mom groups.
Sorry, I'm a little bit far away. Hold on.
Yeah, bro, I'm getting fucked up. I think I'm fucked. Am I fucked? No? Oh shit, I'm winning. Are you alright?
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
I was gonna say, dude, did you disappear?
No,
I was gonna keep ranting about something, I don't know what, but
all I was gonna say about the mom groups and stuff is being in stay-at-home mom groups, you wouldn't believe the number of times I've seen women reach out saying that they're in like a desperate or dangerous situation
Oh
and they
yeah,
can't get
yeah,
out because they have no control over funds and
yeah.
I mean there's women offering other women places to stay in those groups. So it's rampant.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. Like, not only the fact that dudes are more prone to those kind of behaviors, just like hormonally or whatever, but like,
Oh, and I'm not even saying like it has to be dudes. I'm just saying that whole the person who stays at home is sometimes taken advantage of in that way. Men
oh
too.
yeah, 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 that makes sense. But I mean, all I was saying about it was that like it wasn't feminism per se to blame for
Oh,
women
right.
like getting out of the household and like there's like pros and cons to it, like I was saying, but the main driver of women going into the workforce wasn't women's liberation or something. It was like families not making it, dude. You know, like they needed money to get by. So it's all like based on the economy and capitalism shit. Not, it's like they're barking up the wrong tree, basically. It's like, because if you say anything about capitalism or mention like economic stress, then they'll just say like, "Oh, that's their fault. They should have fucking worked harder. You know, like they should have been smarter. You know, done something to make more money." Well, what do you think they're fucking doing? Why do you think the woman went to work? It's like if you say that it's like that's kind of like what a lot of them say, right? It's like all the man's responsibility and all that.
Well, and that's a lot on men, you know?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Especially like with the way the economy works, with the inflation, everything costs more all the time. The wage gap and all that. Like the pressure on a dude to be like a sole provider of a household, and then like getting
And
shit on like
they
by
take it personally because even though it's the system that they're in, it's not the system, dude. You're doing what you can. I mean, it's not you, dude. It's the system. You're doing what you can.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah. That's exactly what I was saying. So like I don't know. That's like another layer, I guess, of why I think like the stuff, the kind of narrative and the like bullshit that all those like right wing media talking heads and podcasters and like the network of fucking Ben Shabibo and fucking Tyler, uh,
Shabibo.
fucking Tucker Carlson, all those fucks, man, Alex Jones, like that. Even though there's like certain things, sometimes I agree with them on things, and sometimes like they don't seem that bad. Like for the most part, the overall narrative that they're pushing and kind of like what they're standing for, and even what we were talking about earlier, the talking points that you're getting fed to you from these like think tanks and media groups, just like that whole narrative control, the whole like worldview that they're pushing is it's fucking evil, dude. Like when you think about it, it's like it what it does is like it shifts the blame for all the social problems onto you yourself, and then like makes you feel guilty about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then they like wonder about like why is everybody crazy? Why is everybody having these fucking mental breakdowns and getting violent and like taking like matters into their own
When
hand and
it's
having
in a
these
way that humans were never
outbursts and
meant
shit?
to. I don't mean to interrupt you, dude. I'm sorry.
No, no, I was done. I was just saying that's no, you're right. That's really bizarre. Like you're born into it thinking that it's normal, and that's like just the way that humanity is supposed to be. But it's
Yeah.
I mean, all you got to do is go camping one time, to see that like
And like, no wonder so many people are so in love with it, you know?
what nature and camping and that shit.
Yeah. Because that's really how we were supposed to be. Who the
Yeah,
fuck are you for?
I kind of like hate how a lot of that stuff gets like, especially in like podcast culture and like just people turn it into something where it's like it's almost like a prescription. It's like, oh, you got to go on your fucking monthly, retreat so you can keep fucking slaving away, and it's like nothing
Paying
really
8 hours
changes.
to have time off? It's insane. What? Hours? What?
Yeah, like nothing really fundamentally changes. It's like what people really need is fundamental change to the system, and not like the way that these fucking psycho Curtis Yarvin fuckheads are talking about, like Peter Thiel and those guys. Like they basically that ends up. That's what I keep talking about, where like you end up turning into a robot, literally. Like that's what those guys want.
Yeah.
That's the future that they're setting up for us. And it's kind of like the whole
Scary.
it's kind of like the whole like don't look up thing. It's like
Oh my god,
it's
yeah.
gonna happen. If nobody does anything, that's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
I mean, barring some kind of like actual meteor falling or like some unforeseen black swan event or whatever. But like seriously, that is what's gonna go down if nobody like tries to do anything about it. That's like what I'm always talking about is starting some kind of alternative, and like to be frank, dude, there's a lot of similarities, right? In what I'm always talking about and what those guys are talking about, because it's like it's basically how do you exit from the system? How do you exit from the economic system? I mean, and maybe it's like impossible to fully do that like immediately, but you know, how would you even make that happen? And it's basically what they're talking about doing. It's like starting a little city, starting a little city that is run differently. But their like concept of governance and all that shit is like it's heavily reliant on AI and Bitcoin and all that stuff. And I'm not saying like, you know, those things should be off the table, but it's very like centralized, I guess I would say, as far as it's very like hierarchical, like what I was saying, and what I'm talking about is really more of a egalitarian setup for it, where it's more equal and like
Yeah.
because think about it, dude. If you have a system like that, like fascism or like some kind of like libertarian might makes right, and whoever like ends up being voted as the CEO, like that's the person, like blah blah blah. That's still like set up with this kind of power structure, right? Um, where it's based on some form of hierarchy. And I don't think you can ever like fully just get rid of that. Like they just naturally kind of arise in certain ways, like
I
even
think
in
it's
like
because
social groups and stuff.
yeah, like in sociology and psychology, I remember going over how, it's groups of people typically pick a leader no matter what.
Right, right. That's what I'm saying though. Like I think that there's a way to arrange that, like because I think that was like one of the big mistakes of the '60s communes and all that is like they were trying to be too flat, too like equal, and then they had problems, of like figuring out how they're gonna make decisions or divide things up or whatever. Because like I mean, think about it, dude. Like I've even seen that in groups, informal social groups, but also like intentional groups, like book clubs or fucking whatever, where it's like they set out with this vision of being, like fully democratic, and when the shit starts like when they start getting into it, they bump into all these problems of like, one of the biggest things I think is because like wanting to protect that, it's like you need 100% agreement on everything. So it's basically like
Like a jury?
like if everybody doesn't agree, then it doesn't happen. So a lot of times that leads to like people feeling like they can't get anything done. They can't like. It's like basically, why would I even bring up my idea? Because I'm sure this person's not going to like it, and that's going to cause like tension in the group. So I'm just going to not say anything, and shit like that. So like, I think there has to be a lot of like kind of
I think the concept in Midsummer is interesting.
Midsummer the movie.
Yeah,
Like, what does that have
like
to do with
the
like killing the old
community.
people or what?
No, like the
Oh,
community, the way the
what?
community supports each other and they all have to come to agreements and shit. It just reminded me like that dynamic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just found it fascinating. I thought, I think there's just interesting ways that
Well,
media portrays
yeah,
things.
that's what those like communes are like. Like they were real. There still are real communities like that, and a lot of people, they some people have good experiences there. Others like they end up leaving because they're like this. I just don't like the way this fucking goes and whatever. So it's like, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is like, I think there is a way to take the knowledge that we have now of human psychology and all that shit, sociology and whatever, and even technology stuff, like using tech tools and whatever. I think there's a way to do it to where like those things can still exist, but it's not like you know gonna turn into some kind of like shitty exploitative fucking dystopian nightmare like what we have. You know what I mean? Like I think there's a way to do it to where it feels more or less like free and equal for everybody, and like you are a valued member of the community and everybody's contributing, and like it's I really do believe that that's possible. And I feel like if you don't believe that's possible, it's like, I mean, I guess you would just like support the idea of becoming a fucking robot or whatever. Because it's like, what the fuck else are you going to do? Somebody's got it. Some asshole's going to always be in charge. It's always going to be the same shit as it always has been. And, it's like, what else can you do? Just submit to the fucking board.
And that's an existential crisis that's tough to get through.
Yeah, I mean, so that's like what the whole idea is of like making a place. It's like, because, like we were saying earlier, it's like you got a couple options within the United States. It's like either Democrats corporate fucking bullshit, liberal like corporate America bullshit, capitalism, same shit as you've always done, or you embrace like the rad trad fucking Handmaiden's Tale shit, where you become like a peasant in the future and probably a robot, or a secret
Luckily, I'd,
third
I'd probably
thing.
be like one of those cleaning ladies at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I vote for the secret third thing.
The secret third thing? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What's the secret third thing? Is it just that, a secret?
Well, that's the thing. Is like we don't really exactly know what it looks like. I mean, I don't think they know what. I mean, I guess they have a pretty good idea, but I don't think they know exactly what their thing looks like. They're trying to build it right now. But I think that's what we have to do is like try to build it. You know, try to build it and wait, what the? Oh, here. Here we go. Try to build it and see what we can do, you know, like see how it, because like basically, I mean, it kind of goes into the whole like neurodivergence theory stuff and all that, where it's like we can figure it out better together, you know, like two heads are better than one kind of shit. Like the community can build a better community than I can build a community.
Yeah,
You
I
know
see
what I
what you're
mean?
saying.
So it's
Yeah,
like
well,
we have to
it
start
helps.
building it. Mm.
That's probably the closest you can get to a utopia.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's like of course it has to start small because it's like I really think the most important part of it, it isn't like the designing and you know like the structures of government and all that shit. I really think the most important part is like the cultural practices and like those kind of things, you know? Like little things, you know, like whatever, dude. Like it could be like anything like I don't know, dude, like I have no idea, but you know, just like shooting from the hip, it could be like you know, once a month we fucking all have a fucking big dinner together. And I don't know, like every time, like we might have like some kind of certain greeting that we do with each other where it's like more intimate, where it's like, you know, like something that, like little things that help like produce bonds between people and also, kind of like set the norms for how we talk to each other, how we react to each other, how we think of each other, especially in
Cause
disagreements and like when we get mad or when we're, you know,
right,
feeling fucking emotions or whatever. Those kind of things. I think like basically it's impossible for it to be great right away with like people who are so programmed and like traumatized and brainwashed in this world. But if you get it like built up enough to where, you know, like generations who grow up there, you know, like grow up with those norms and grow up with those things, like, but then again, it can't be like so sheltered to where it's like, you know, like a cult or something, you know, like it's like the kids are like fucking aliens, you know, it's like it can't be that. Like, I think it's also important, or at least as long as it lasts, like, you know, if there's like fucking World War III and we go back to fucking living in tribes or something like that, like that's what's going to be happening anyways. But I think like while the internet exists, it is important for all the shit that people talk about the internet and technology and phones and stuff. I think it's important for people to see like what's going on in the world and with the rest of humanity and like, you know, have an awareness of what this shit really is. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, and I feel like I'm seeing people recognize it more rapidly today than in recent years, but I think it's because things are so bad.
What?
People are recognizing that we're not supposed to be living this way and
Oh yeah,
coming
yeah,
to
yeah,
that conclusion like way faster and more
yeah.
randomly. But I think it's because things are so bad, you know, that that they finally believe it.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. I noticed that like with a lot of kids and stuff, and the podcast culture and all that stuff. They talk about it a lot. Like, you know, especially like health and nutrition and health, like mental health podcasts, that kind of stuff. They talk about that a lot. I mean, again, sometimes that stuff gets like it tends to more so. I think get condensed down into some kind of like prescriptive, you know, like you got to go outside and get 15 minutes of sun on your face and like like that kind of shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like it's not just that, dude. Like it's the whole fucking lifestyle. It's the whole. I mean, of course that shit's gonna help for sure, but all in all, like the whole fucking thing needs to change. Like the whole, from sun up to sundown, from cradle to grave, like needs to be completely different.
And it's
Uh,
wild because everybody wants to live that. Everybody wants to live a better life, but nobody, like you said, does anything about it.
I think it's just because like there's no, it seems like there's no good opportunity and like there's no really good place to start. You know, like nobody. It takes money to do that shit, and it takes it takes community too. Like it's like
And it's all being hoarded right now.
yeah, and like not only is like it's hard to get the money or the means to do it, but it's also like hard to because everybody's so distracted and so like like beholden to other fucking priorities and shit that they have to like just do to stay alive. You know what I mean? So it's like basically when do you have like the time and energy to even if you want to be a part of something like that and contribute to it, like where do you get the time and energy for it? And then it's like
Precisely.
it's also like kind of a risk because it's like there's a lot of people saying a lot of shit, and it's like it might sound like a good idea, like yeah, let's start a thing, but like what if the people end up being just like fucking weird motherfuckers, dude? Like or they're like I don't know. What if it's like it's kind of like taking a risk, you know what I mean? It's like just
Yeah.
keeping on doing shit the same way that we've been doing it is like safer. It feels safer anyways. It's like you kind of got to take a leap of faith for that shit that a lot of people aren't willing to take. That's even why I was talking about like I just want to fucking just disappear, dude, and go wander the fucking earth.
I've wanted to do that so many times, and it makes sense now that, like, growing up, why I wanted a zombie apocalypse so bad.
Yeah, a lot of people fantasize, romanticize about that kind of shit,
Well, I
like
mean, I know it wouldn't be
apocalypse
great now.
scenarios. Oh yeah, it'd be fucking terrible, but at least like you wouldn't be fucking going to work. Wait, what is this? Oh, nice. I think yeah. Bro, but what? These motherfuckers. Okay, can I fight these other guys now? Oh, I'm stuck here. Oh well. It's alright. I got this one. I got this, and then I got.
Oh my gosh. I have a three-nager, sorry.
You got a what? Oh.
A
A what?
three-nager?
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Like, there's terrible twos,
Yeah, I know.
and then there's the three-nagers.
I never heard that before, but it makes sense. It definitely makes. I'm just put this on auto, dude. 2372. We got like 100 more years or so, 100 and something more years. I'm gonna fuck this guy up, bro. I'm ready to fuck this guy up. Actually, I'm not really, but kinda. I can build like 100 and something more ships. Let's check the planet. Let's get a planet check. I can't believe you hate Watchmen, dude.
Well, to be honest with you, I was maybe 15 when I watched it. So maybe I should revisit it.
It's one of my favorite movies. I need to finish that article. Oh yeah, Rorschach's like the best part, dude, of that. He's like a reverse Kantian.
What is
Yeah,
that?
does that sound like a foreign language to you?
Yeah.
Fucking.
I was not even gonna pretend to know what that was.
Immanuel Kant was
Oh, Kant.
Immanuel Kant. He was a German weirdo autistic person, aka philosopher, who
Science idiots.
he like I mean he said a lot of fucking bullshit, but he as far as like ethics goes, right? You know, like in ethics and philosophy, there's there's a lot. It's not just a lot of people try to like boil it down to just these two choices, but there's a lot more. There's a lot more. You could fucking say whatever you want. It's philosophy. Say whatever you want. But they tend to like kind of throw them into these two main categories. One is like you base the goodness or badness of something on the outcome. So like if it hurts people, that's like one basis is harm principle, where it's like I mean that applies to even the violence shit and the hate speech stuff and whatever, but like does it harm somebody or does it harm whatever? Like that's like Epicurean hedonism, kind of like pain, pleasure, like pleasure is good, pain is bad. You know, that's where ethics comes from. That's why people say things are good or bad. So like there's a lot of different concepts of that, but it all kind of boils down to like does it result in this thing that you like or that you want or that people generally agree on is desirable or whatever. So they call that consequentialism. Some people call it utilitarianism, which is like a form of consequentialism, but it's more general and accurate. Well, I mean, I guess those things don't really make sense together, but in this context they do. Like it's more general to say consequentialism because it's based on consequences. It's like what's the consequences of your actions, you know? And that will tell you, the consequences will tell you like if a thing is right or wrong or good or bad, you know? So, you know, that leads to these kind of arguments like shooting Charlie Kirk is bad because murder is wrong, because it hurts people and, you know, like causes all this whatever. And
speaking of that topic, it might be pertinent to take a look at Project Talk.
Wait, what?
The group.
What? Right now?
Jared said some interesting stuff about this topic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll try to make this quick because she's probably going to show up, but so Immanuel Kant was like different. He did not believe that at all. He said that really like what makes something right or wrong, it's more like logic based, right? Because that's very like, first of all, it's like how do you know what the consequences are going to be? And second of all, it's like, I don't know, it just seems kind of like especially like long term, like it might be good like today, but like no, what's going to be the residual effects like into the future and blah blah blah. But like what he was saying was like the more logical way, the more rational way to think about what is good and bad is like just with pure reason, using pure reason.
Try this. Watch this.
So if you so he basically said like the only thing that's like can be good without any kind of qualification, without you pointing at some like other reason or some like endless chain of explanation for why something's good or bad, is good intentions. So his whole thing was like really the heart of like being good and being a good person and doing good in the world is having good intentions. Like so far so good, right? So then he says like, but that means basically anytime you do anything, you choose to do anything, you would have to believe that like that is what anybody should do in that situation. So like he needs to hold on. All right, whatever. If he comes in here, whatever. So, anyways, he goes through a whole bunch of shit, but he gets to the argument that it basically, I mean, he calls it the categorical imperative. He says you would have to will that it would become like a law of the universe, that like whatever you do should be like a universal thing for every person. So that means that that certain things are like always wrong. Like murder is always wrong because oh my gosh. Give me one sec. Okay. Sorry about that. So, like, yeah, so for instance, murder is always wrong, or lying is always wrong. You should never lie. You should never murder. You should never, do all that shit. So it ends up looking and sounding a lot like Christianity shit, like, thou shalt not do this, whatever. But he's saying it's like, it's not dictated by that necessarily. It's just dictated by logic itself. So I don't know if you agree with this so far or not, but a lot of people found like problems with that because they would say things like, okay, well, like just imaginary scenarios. Like, what if somebody like broke into your house and they're gonna fucking murder your wife and kids, but all you need to do, like, to save them is to lie. Right? Wouldn't it be, like, right? Wouldn't it be okay, like, morally justifiable or whatever to lie in that moment?
Personally, I mean, obviously it's a subjective, highly polarizing subject, but for me, I do think there's instances that I would consider appropriate.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's last resort.
Yeah. Most people like do, and like there's tons of examples of that. I mean, like the Last of Us games, or like have example of it, and like the trolley problem is like a fucking example of this or whatever. So like, do you pull the lever or not? Like what if aliens are gonna fucking blow up the earth and you have to fucking murder one of them to stop them from pulling the lever or whatever. Like, so what he was saying though was, and not necessarily that I agree with him either, but what he was, I think a lot of times people misunderstand that because they're just like, oh no, that's stupid, like that can't be right, Of course there's times where you should lie or whatever. But I think really what he was saying was, if you want to live in the kind of world where people don't lie to you, you have to never lie. Like, there's no way to get to that world until you just decide to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, so he's basically saying those scenarios, I mean, he doesn't, like, ever reply to any of these kind of things, but he's implying that those kind of scenarios would never happen if everybody did that. Because there would be no person breaking into your house, killing your kids or something, because people wouldn't do that, because everybody's following the logical morality or whatever.
Well, and the number one cause of all of that bullshit is capitalism.
Yeah, I think it's a huge contributor, but I mean, like, that's why I think the
situations.
Yeah, sure, like, but that's why I think it definitely goes deeper than that. Like, I mean, the Last of Us is kind of trying to show that, especially where it's like, I think the aliens example is good too, because it's like, what if it's not human, But also in The Last of Us, that's what happens. Like, the cause of all of that is a natural event, not, well, I mean, imaginary, whatever, but it was like a natural catastrophe. It wasn't like somebody, holding a gun to somebody's head or something, it wasn't like a trolley problem like that. But, anyways, the reason I say Rorschach is like Kant is, because Kant is like those kind of ethics are, I mean, they call them deontological, but they're like universal, absolutist ethics. You know what I mean? So like,
on my cat, yeah.
So like, in Watchmen, Rorschach always says that shit. He always says. He says it like multiple times in the graphic novel. I have it right here, actually, dude. I don't know what page it's on, but he basically says, like, never compromise. He says that multiple times. He says, like, even in the face of Armageddon, never compromise. But, so that's like a very kind of like Kantian approach. But, so I don't know if you remember the story or not, but like, remember the Plato's Cave and the Noble Lie, and like, okay, the cave isn't about like the government lying to you and shit, because Plato and them in the Republic, they later decide like it's better to lie to everybody. So it's like, if you ever read Plato, if you ever read the Republic and like understood it at all, you would know that the analogy of the cave is not trying to talk about like breaking out of the matrix that the government is keeping you in or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not like the main purpose of that allegory.
Yeah, it's not.
That I understand anyway.
Yeah, it's not at all. He's talking about like philosophy and reasoning. Perception. And even like Kant is trying to follow kind of a thing like what Plato is doing, where he's like, the answer is not out there in the world, like where you go look and find some shit, like you're going to do science and figure out the ultimate nature of reality, which hasn't stopped physicists. but what Plato was saying was like, the only things there's even like a thing in reasoning too that like they have it there, but like later it comes back up in David Hume in a big way. But it's like okay, there's two forms of like making argument for something being true or not, right? One is inductive reasoning, and the other one is deductive reasoning. So inductive reasoning is like going out and finding evidence in the world, and you like see every swan that anybody's ever seen in like whatever is, it's always been black, right? So they'll make a statement in philosophy and logic, whatever they call it, propositions. So they'll make a proposition. They'll propose like that it's true. They'll propose this truth statement that all swans are white, right? So like most people, like you'll agree with that. Everybody will agree, and that's like this is like the whole story of science. Until like one day somebody sees a black swan. And of course probably a bunch of people will be like, oh bullshit, no, there's no such thing as a black swan. But like once it becomes a thing, it's so that's like the problem with inductive reasoning, and what Plato is like pointing out with the cave and the shadows and all that shit. He's saying like when you're looking at the swans, you're looking at shadows. Like the thing that is a swan is something like beyond the world of appearances, of like going out and looking at shit in the real world, whatever. What he's saying is that actually the real world is like in your mind. So like that's the whole fucking thing with the cave. And that's also what Kant is kind of saying with the right and wrong, good and bad. Good and bad isn't like something that's out there or that you can point to, like animal behaviors or pain and suffering or this and that or outcomes of actions that people have made. It's something that's just like purely rational. Because the other form of reasoning you can use is deductive reasoning. So deductive reasoning is probably, you've seen those things probably like in school on tests or whatever. They have them on like IQ tests and the SAT and stuff, where it's like they'll say something like, all dogs have 4 legs. John has 4 legs. Therefore, John is a dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those kind of statements.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to figure out if that like implies the truth of whatever. In that case, no, right? But like I mean, one of the most typical ones in philosophy they use is Socrates. They say all humans are mortal. And then Socrates is a human, therefore Socrates is mortal, right? So like the thing is, if you agree with the first statement, like if you agree with the first 2 statements, I mean, if you agree that all men are mortal or all humans are mortal and Socrates is a human, then you have to agree with the third one, right?
Yeah.
So that's deductive reasoning. So they, at least this is what they said, that form of reasoning, pure logic, it can't be wrong. So that's why it's like more dependable, more real than anything like you see in life. So anyways, I mean, I have many problems with this, but like that's kind of like more of the Kantian side of things, more of like a Platonic idealist school of thought. And I feel like Rorschach is like in that fucking vein. But the reason I really like it too is because it kind of like flips a couple of those things on their head. Like not only is the Rorschach kind of like an inversion of that, because Kant is like, don't ever kill people, but Rorschach is like, always kill bad people. Like, but they lie to everybody, right? I don't remember. I don't know if you remember the story itself, like how they caused this big like ploy to trick everybody in the world into thinking that like that character Dr. Manhattan was evil. You remember that?
I said, I'm so sorry, but will you please repeat that one more time? My headphones cut out.
Oh no, no worries. I said I don't know if you remember the story, but they did this like huge ploy. I mean, I say they, it was really like one guy, but there was this huge ploy to trick all the people in the world into thinking that Dr. Manhattan was evil. The blue guy, the like god human.
Yeah. The big topic of discussion. No pun intended. Anyway.
What?
Oh, everybody talked about him being naked and shit. I'm just 12, though.
Oh, in the movie. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I'm only familiar with the movie, so maybe I need to be more familiar with
no,
it.
no. I mean, they're pretty much the same. Like, there's something different in the graphic novel, but it's not that big of a deal. Like, instead of blowing up the cities, it like summons some kind of dimensional octopus creature, dude. But anyways, like, I was just saying, like, do you remember that whole plan that they had to like trick everybody into thinking he was evil?
It's been so long, no, I didn't remember that.
All right, so the story pretty much goes like the comedian gets murdered. Rorschach is like trying to figure out what's happening. Somebody's killing like the Watchmen, the old Watchmen. Even though the government made vigilante justice illegal and blah blah blah, but Rorschach is like one of the only ones still doing shit. Anyways, Rorschach kind of thinks he's like uncovering this plot, and some of the old like crew starts like getting back involved, and they figure out that one of the former Watchmen, I mean, all the while, like the blue guy is trying to figure out like a solution to. That's the big thing in the background is like Russia and America like possibly going to nuclear war. It's like Cold War era shit. And the blue guy's like trying to work on some like solutions for that, but he's also like becoming kind of detached because he's so aware and so like super genius. He's like a god person. So he's like kind of just getting to the point where he's like, you know what, dude? Fuck these fools. I'm fed up with these fucking stupid ass humans, dude. But anyways, like part of the ploy was convincing that guy that his presence was like giving people cancer.
Okay.
And then they start uncovering the plot, and they find out that it was him. It was a former member. He's like one of the smartest humans alive. Like obviously not as smart as the blue guy, but he started like this multi-billion-dollar company, and he, long story short, like he designed this technology to where when the blue guy would like warp to the city to try to like fix something, the city would fucking blow up. That's what happened in the movie anyways. In the novel it was a little bit different. But when that happens, America like thinks that he attacked them, basically. Bro, that's fucking hilarious, dude. I gotta fucking.
I
I gotta.
figured you might really like that one.
I gotta put that.
That sounded like right up your alley, your humor.
Dude, so like. Anyways, like, long story short, they uncover this plot that that guy had, like, set the blue guy up to make everybody in the world hate him. And think that he's like attacking humanity, and he's also like detached.
I think my problem with the movie is my abstract thinking was not nearly developed enough to
Right? Yeah, it's probably
appreciate it.
way too young to see it. But like, okay, so they go and confront the guy, right? They uncover the plot and they go and confront him, right, at his little hideout in fucking Antarctica or wherever it was. And he ends up convincing them that like it's for the greater good, right?
Right.
And the blue guy agrees. The blue guy even agrees. He's like, yeah, that makes sense. He was like, I'll just leave the Earth, and then like that'll stop the nuclear war with Russia, right? And then like humanity will be saved, and I'll just go do my thing because fuck these fools anyways. And Rorschach, being the like never compromise even in the face of Armageddon motherfucker that he is, was like, nah, dude. He was like, that's fucking bullshit, man. Like you can't fucking do that. Just like like you think you're fucking smarter than the whole world. Like you just trick everybody into fucking believing a lie. Like it's fake. It's not like it's not real. Like how can you have like such a false sense of security over a lie? You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, fuck that, dude. I'm gonna tell everybody. It's like they need to know the truth. And then so he leaves, and then the blue guy, like, you know, because he can like warp or what, he appears outside in front of him, and he's like, I can't let you, I can't let you go, right? And Rorschach's like, well, he was like, you're gonna have to kill me. And then he's like, what are you fucking waiting for, man? Do it. Like, just fucking do it. And then the fucking blue guy, like, explodes him into fucking vapor, dude. But, so, like, can you see the parallels here?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, to the Plato's noble lie and, like,
Right.
fucking lying to people to control them, like, behavior fucking modification bullshit, like, from the government, whatever. Well, at the very end, the news guy from the very beginning, he's like yelling at the intern guy. He was like, we need some fucking new news, like whatever. He's like, there's fucking nothing though. Like it's like peace now. Nothing's like, nobody, like everybody's happy and everything's fine. Like there's nothing to talk about. And he was like, well, look through the fucking little junk bin thing or whatever. Like it's like a, I don't know, a basket of a bunch of like notebooks and stuff. Well, before they went there, like it shows that Rorschach dropped his fucking journal in there. So at the very end, that news is gonna find his fucking journal that like tells the whole story of the lie.
Oh, that's fucking cool. Okay, so yeah, I definitely need to revisit it.
And I think that's like, it's kind of like a fucking knock at that kind of shit, you know, all those like noble lie, fucking theocratic, technocratic government styles. Like, you know, because it's like, that's what they invented in the Republic. Like, the whole concept that Plato and them came up with in the Republic was that the best people to run the government, I mean, granted, their government sounds like it's probably better than whatever the fuck we're doing, actually, but... And he also thought democracy was fucking garbage, too. But, he basically said that, you know, the best form of government is government by the people who know best how to run a country.
But who's
So, like,
that?
well, that is the people who have dedicated their entire life to learning how to do that.
That's fair. Okay.
Because he said that's usually not what you get. Like, you get some, like, warlord, like, tyrant who's just, they only want power. And that's, like, to him, that's the worst form of government. Let me see here. They have this whole kind of like chain of like the fucking best. It's like a ranking, dude. So the best form to them is aristocracy, which is like the whole concept of like philosopher king. It's like the person, the people who know best how to run the government. But also, they came up with all these crazy-ass corruption controls, because they kept coming up with, like, well, what if they do this? Because I notice this happens a lot, you know? They just give all the fucking power and money to their kids, or they, you know, they go fucking crazy, and they just take everything away from everybody, or... So they come up with all these, like, checks and balances things, dude, and, like, one of them is, like, the nepotism one is crazy. They basically say... Okay, and alright, so here, the noble lie, the lie that they told people was that their soul is infused with like a kind of metal, right? So, like, if you're born with bronze, you're supposed to be a working class. And their working class was like, you are a specialist in that thing forever. If your dad was a carpenter, you're a carpenter, and forever you're
That's what's wild
carpenters.
to me about caste systems too. Because what?
Yeah, it was kind of like that. I mean, it was its own thing, but it was definitely kind of like that. Like, that was the lowest class, and then the middle class. Well, I mean, not like U.S. middle class, but the next class was the silver. The silver was, they called it the guardians. So these are like, this is actually one of the very first arguments in philosophy for women's service in the military, was in Plato. Because they end up deciding to let women in the military in this imaginary city-state. Because basically, in the way their conversation goes is, they're really talking about people's soul. They really believe in people's soul, and like that, you know, people are born a certain way, kind of. And so he was saying, like, some people are born like very physical, you know, like they gravitate towards physical activity. They're always in the gym. They're always like trying to like do whatever. Like these people are basically like the what were they called in the Divergent shit, the Undaunted or the Dauntless or whatever it was. They're basically like the police, but they're also like the military. They're both. There's no difference in this. It's like the military is the police and the police is the military, and it is these people. And then the highest class, the ruling class, is the gold. And the gold are the philosophers, and they're it even says it right here. They're supposed to live communally. So that was their thing to like prevent nepotism. Because they were like, what about, somebody was like, what about nepotism? And they were like, well, what if we just make them like not know who their kids are?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was their solution. They were like, they can just have orgies, and then
Oh my
when the kids are born, they don't know whose kids are whose.
Holy shit.
And
Hey,
they don't
sounds
get
good to
to
me.
they don't get to own any property. That was the other thing. They're not allowed to own property at all. Um, and anyways, like, so to them, like the aristocracy, the rule by the elite, like who actually care about the city and like they love the country and they want to take care of it, and that their whole life is that. Those are the people who should be ruling. The next one down is that they call timocracy. It's basically like rule by the military. So instead of the gold, you have like the silver ruling, and they're still like kind of imbued with that like spirit of love for their country and like blah blah blah. But they're not as like well. They don't know how to run a country, so they're gonna fuck it up. So the next one is oligarchy, where it's like rich people. That's based on, you know, like whatever. We have that shit here now today, but it's like all they want is money and wealth and shit. But his argument for why that was better than democracy was in an oligarchy, at least the people love money. Like, at least they're trying to take care of that and, like, concentrate that. But in a democracy, which is like the next step down, the people don't know shit about how to run anything, and they also don't understand how fucking money shit works, so they're basically like spoiled children who just want everything and they don't know how to take care of anything, so they just fuck everything up even worse. And then he said that devolves into the worst form of government, which he said is despotism or tyranny, where it's like you have a dictator that takes over because people think that like, oh, everything's fucked up, we need somebody to fix it. And like he said, this is basically like this is the chain of like disintegration of every government. He said this is the steps of like de-evolution that every government of every group goes through.
Yeah, like isn't it like the 250-year mark or some shit like that that empires typically fall?
I mean, I don't know. I don't ever heard that. It's interesting because I mean, just of the ones I can think of, like the classical ones, like maybe that's true, but then like after Rome, because Rome was like, I mean, I know it kind of fell apart before, but like, you know, from start to end, Rome was like over 1,000 years. But I think empire-wise, Rome was like, I don't know, maybe like 700 years or something. Because it's like there was parts, you know, they split into two and whatever. 503. Yeah, so like there was the Republic before, so like Rome existed longer. That's what I was saying. Like if you go from the very beginning of Rome to the very end of Rome, it's over 1,000 years. Until this Ottoman Empire took over. But the Western Empire, I guess officially is only 500 years. Oh yeah, look, yeah. The entire span of Roman imperial rule from beginning of the Western Empire to the fall of Constantinople is 1,400 years. That's insane, dude. Seriously, that's an insane amount of time.
That's a fucking stupid long amount of time. I don't know where I got that then. Probably some stupid social media.
Maybe, I don't know. It's like maybe one of those conspiracy, like the United States is over things. Which I mean, I don't disagree with that, but yeah, maybe you're right. There's somebody wrote a book about it, Fate of Empires: The Search for Survival.
So there's like some type of truth to it, but not like the time frame.
Yeah, I mean, it's like whatever. People just talk shit. You know, he's saying the average empire length, but I don't know when he wrote this book. Is Sir John Bagot Glubb?
You're fucking lying.
Bagot, I don't know how you pronounce that. Fuck that guy. 1978 is when he wrote that. I don't know. What's up with this guy, bro? He looks like he... looks like he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Like his mom told him that if he made that face, it would be stuck like that forever.
Yeah, that's what happened. Oh, this is a really cool... This is a really cool... I thought it was a short story. Why would this be... Oh, yeah, it is. It's in like a book of short stories is where I read it. Lieutenant General. British Army officer. You know the type. Sounds like a real sea donkey.
Sea donkey.
Alright, I'm gonna get off of this, I think. I don't know, somebody's watching. Somebody's lurking. Is it fucking, what's his name, dude? Is it fucking Pete? Is it Pete, dude?
Pete.
Pete Shegweth, dude?
Let's see. I mean, maybe it's me because I have your Twitch open.
It says 2 people, I don't know.
Oh, dope.
I don't know, there's no way to like look at it unless you go on Twitch. Which I'm too lazy to do right now. I mean, ideally,
Nobody has the best viewers anymore, dude. It's always cheap ones.
Oh yeah, we've been with that for a little while. All right, man. I'm gonna get off. Hold on. I'm gonna take a break, but I'm gonna get off of Twitch, and then like, we can do some other shit.
Hell yeah.
Maybe I'll get on ESO, but I was gonna try to maybe make some videos or something. I don't know, or at least work on that.
Do it.
Yeah. All right. See you in a bit.
Sounds good. Bye.